I'm going to make a risky statement. And that statement is, I call BS on all of the talk around teams adopting Gen AI and it actually being useful. And I bet you behind the scenes, beyond a nice little demo, it might not actually deliver the ROI that most teams are expecting. And here's why. So number one, fundamentally, ChatGPT, the way to think about it, whether it's enterprise GPT or there's a GPT app that you've built that might be plugged into some of your internal data, you have to remember that large language models themselves are literally pattern matchers. They don't do any logical reasoning. They're not knowledge or fact learning models. And what I typically see is there's a lot of great, fun little demos that you can showcase with ChatGPT. But when it actually comes down to things like being really comprehensive, outputting really valid results, and having really high accuracy, these simple demos are just never enough. And oftentimes, in order to actually deliver on high ROI and actually drive impact, oftentimes LLMs or Gen AI tends to be an ingredient in a recipe step of other tools. So it could be other AI models, it could be validation logic, it could be logical reasoning that is also baked in. And typically these types of end-to-end implementations require IT or technical support to be involved. So if you hear in the press, companies making claims of use of GPTs, I think they are very productive and they can enable day-to-day efficiencies through things like rephrasing, low fidelity summaries, quick ad hoc queries. Likely, while they're driving efficiency, they're not delivering as much ROI as you would think. So when people talk about, for example, ChatGPT, it goes through volumes of data and volumes of publications and pulls out insights. It is in fact not just purely ChatGPT that is doing that behind the scenes. Like those types of scenarios really require an orchestrated set of tech ingredients to make them work.